Welcome to Hidden Points. Imagine standing at the edge of something you once held so tightly. Your hands forgot how to open, and your heart forgot how to release. Letting go can feel like a breakup with a part of yourself. But why is it so incredibly hard? Psychology shows us that letting go isn't a simple act. It's a mental rewiring, an emotional reshaping, a deep shift inside the mind. The reason it feels so tough is because the human brain is built to cling to familiarity, even when that familiarity brings pain and stress. This is called cognitive anchoring, a mental shortcut that makes the mind hold on to what it already knows, even when it's hurting us. It's like choosing a familiar bumpy road over a smooth, unknown path, simply because you've traveled it before. Your brain sees comfort in the known, even if the known is uncomfortable. Take Jake from Ohio. For years, he struggled to walk away from a toxic friend group. He knew the relationships were draining him, but the thought of being alone felt terrifying. His brain had created strong emotional habits that tied his identity to being part of that group. For him, letting go wasn't just about losing people. It was about losing the version of himself that had survived by staying attached. He had anchored his sense of safety to being included, making the prospect of leaving feel like a threat to his very identity. Then there's Madison from Florida. She found it almost impossible to let go of a dream she had held since childhood. She wanted to be a professional dancer, but years of chasing it had left her exhausted, injured, and deeply unhappy. Yet she couldn't stop. Why? Because the brain forms something called a narrative identity. It's the story we tell ourselves about who we are and where we're going. Madison's future was so intertwined with this one story that letting go meant rewriting her entire life script. It meant accepting that a new path was not only possible, but allowed. Psychologically, the act of letting go triggers something known as emotional dissonance. This is the intense inner conflict between what we feel and what we know. You know you need to move on, but you feel the pull to stay. Your mind gets stuck in a tug-of-war, pulling back and forth between logic and emotion. This is why the process of letting go often feels so messy, so confusing, and utterly draining. It's a mental battle where both sides are you. Another hidden truth is that humans hold on because the brain fears emotional gaps and empty spaces. The unknown feels inherently dangerous. When you let go of a person, a job, or a dream, you create a void. Your mind, in its attempt to protect you, sees this void as a threat and scrambles to fill it, often by pulling you back to the familiar pain you were trying to escape. It chooses the certainty of suffering over the uncertainty of freedom. It's a survival mechanism that, in modern life, can keep us trapped. And yet, letting go is one of the most powerful psychological breakthroughs a person can experience. When you finally release that grip, it activates something incredible in your brain called cognitive flexibility. This is the ability to adapt your thinking, switch perspectives, and embrace new possibilities. It's like a mental muscle that gets stronger every time you choose to let go of something that's weighing you down. This flexibility reduces emotional tension and opens up pathways to new solutions and new ways of being. People who master the art of letting go don't just lose something, they gain something extraordinary. They gain mental clarity. The noise of holding on finally quiets down, and they can hear their own thoughts again. They gain emotional space, creating room for new feelings, new relationships, and new experiences to enter their lives. Most importantly, they gain a renewed sense of self, untangled from the past and free to define their own future. Psychologists often say that letting go is less about removing something and more about returning to something. It's a journey back to your own inner peace, back to your true identity, and back to a state of emotional balance. It's not about erasing the past, but about releasing its power over your present. It's about finding your center again after being pulled off balance for so long. Here's another hidden pattern. The brain cannot fully let go until it feels safe. This is why closure is so important. But true closure isn't about getting an apology or having the last word. It's an internal process of understanding and acceptance. It's about looking at the past and acknowledging that it cannot be fixed, it cannot be rewritten, and it cannot be held onto forever without causing yourself more harm. Safety comes from the realization that you can survive and even thrive without what you're letting go of. People often mistake letting go for a sign of weakness, as if you're giving up or giving in. But the reality is the complete opposite. Holding on to pain often requires fear of the unknown, Fear of being alone, fear of failure. Letting go, on the other hand, requires immense strength, courage, and trust. It's a conscious choice to trust that you are resilient enough to handle what comes next, and brave enough to step into a future that isn't yet written. The moment you allow yourself to release what no longer fits your life, you create the space for what does. Think of it like clearing out a cluttered room. You can't bring in new beautiful furniture until you get rid of the old, broken pieces that are taking up all the space. Your mind and your heart work the same way. Releasing old pain and outdated beliefs makes room for new joy, new growth, and new love. Letting go is a psychological turning point. It's the moment the mind stops fighting the past and starts walking toward the future with a lighter step and an open heart. It is the definitive shift from surviving to thriving. So, what we've discovered is that the psychology of letting go is not about loss, it's about liberation. It's not a defeat. It's a profound act of choosing peace over attachment. It is the moment your mind, your body, and your soul finally say, "I deserve to breathe again." And in that breath, you find your freedom. Thank you for watching Hidden Points. If this resonated with you, consider subscribing for more insights into the hidden workings of our minds. We'll see you in the next video.